The job of the family is not to know the essence of the child or to completely take care of them. If our family could give us everything we need, we would simply stay home and remain children. The evidence that that doesn't work is everybody leaves home. And everybody leaves home looking for something that we couldn't get. And so I'm in favor of relieving the parents and the family of the idea that they are supposed to do a perfect job and give the child all it needs. I think the parent's job is to give the child, to protect the child, to nourish the child, and to give it love. And the idea that the parents would know what the child really needs, know what their destiny is a really confused idea. And usually it's an idea being held by people who are not living out their own destiny. The modern idea of the nuclear family is a really wild, reckless experiment compared to what used to happen. For instance, in most traditional cultures, you would have an extended family. And that means that the parents would feed you and, do the best they could. But if it wasn't working out, you didn't have to just feel completely abandoned, rejected by your mother. You could go next door or down the road, and Aunt so-and-so had a natural connection to you as a child. The aunts and the uncles, the unrelated older people would have natural connection to that child. And so the idea was you would leave home, and whatever happened, happened. By the way, everyone is abandoned, near as I can tell. So everybody has abandonment issues, but then everybody is actually secretly inspired to go find another home. And that home would be found in someone who relates. And the whole process of mentoring, which is the beginning of education, is based on the idea that there's an instinctive connection between the seeker and the mentor, between the student and the teacher. And that's what's supposed to happen. Because once the children go, the parents are supposed to be going back on the road of their own awakening. They're not supposed to be checking in to see how the kids are doing once they're out in the world. I mean, you can do that. That's a natural thing. But if you're overdoing that, means you're not living your own life. And so what we have now is children who feel something is wrong because they didn't get what they needed when it was never going to happen anyway. And we have adults who are thinking either they did everything wrong or they're resenting that the children aren't thanking them for doing what they never could have done to begin with. I hope I'm making sense. Trying to move. So anyway, that's my take on that. And so I think that, eventually the child has to leave, and the core of the person cannot get fully satisfied inside the dynamic of the family. Another thing to consider is a family is a story going way back in time. And there was an old saying that family is fate. That is to say, there's a fate, an element of fate working its way down through the generations in a family. And that's something to deal with, the fate of a family. But the idea that the parents, the family could give us everything we need is not a developed psychological idea. And it also has never happened.